Hello everyone. Sunday, so I'm due an update. Like I said, I was gonna do. The week has been great. Committed to all my days. Wrote on all the days I wanted. So perfect week, really. I um, I don't think I wrote enough words than what I thought I was gonna write, but I've wrote more pages in a weird way. So I'm on 192 pages, so I think I'm going to get 200 pages by the end of next week. Um, I think I was like 14 or 16 away at the beginning of the week, and now it's only 8. Um, so like kind of like perfect, it's split by 2 weeks, done it in half, all that, maths and stuff. Um, so I think I'm going to do it. And it's funny I'm on 192 pages now, on like 62 or 63,000 words. My first book was 65,000 words, and it was only like 168 pages. So I've wrote less, but I've got more pages this time around, and I've realised it's because I'm much more confident writing dialogue. And not in the sense that like, oh, is my dialogue good? Is it, that kind of confidence? But I'm more confident on allowing the dialogue to like just be there and exist and grow, be longer basically. Whereas before, I remember writing the first book and even the second book to some extent. I'm thinking like, oh, I'm kind of cheating here with this dialogue, or the writer's going to get bored by this dialogue and all that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, but that's not the case at all. Let me just adjust this a little bit. There you go. That's not the case at all. When I started to, this is all under the table. That's better. When I started, to like read books as a writer, like analyze them in that way, I realised that like books take like 4 or 5 pages and it's all just dialogue. And I thought, well, why aren't I doing that? And I can't remember. Yeah, I don't. I think to some extent I thought I was like cheating by having this much dialogue, or the writer, the reader might be bored by all this dialogue. They're like, well, get on with the story, kind of thing, is what was in my mind, I think, at the time. And now I'm like, well, no, the dialogue, if anything, is more important, because that's what moves the dialogue a lot along. Well, as much as everything else. Do you know what I mean? It's an important tool in moving the narrative along. And so so there's a lot more dialogue in this book, and allowing the characters to speak and develop relationships and stuff. It makes it easier to write and grow the story, surprisingly enough. But now I'm doing it, I'm realizing that. And to be fair, that's what this trilogy was kind of all about. It was like a learning process for me. Um, of course, wanted to write a fantasy trilogy. That was the goal, but the initial goal was for me to like harness my skills and stuff. And I think if there's any advice that I have for people out there who were thinking about writing, just write it and like expose yourself to mistakes and critique, because that's literally that's the only way you're gonna grow. Because if you just hide, because with most people start off as bad writers. Like I was a writer, but wasn't good at it. But you learn, you get feedback, and I think I was kind of like a bit strong-willed, whereas I didn't care what. Well, I did care, but it didn't hurt me. When people critiqued me book fairly, if it was obviously a fair critique, I'd take that on. I started obviously a bit sensitive, I'm not gonna lie, but I was open to it, and I took on those lessons, and I felt with the second one I picked things up from the first one, and now this third one is kind of, it's the culmination of all these lessons that I've learned. And I'm obviously, me writing isn't the finished product. you know, I've still got a lot to learn and grow, but it's when it comes, as if we use the dialogue, you know, lesson as like a metaphor, that you can just see it. Well, I can see it, and hopefully when you read me books and the third one comes out, you can just see that growth. So it's funny. So I've got 192 pages. I've wrote every day that I said I was going to do. I even wrote twice in one day, one on my lunch break and then one in the evening, on my girlfriend's balcony. It was kind of cool, just in the dark, you know, because it was like, it set a good mood and all that. So that was a cool little moment. Yeah, so great week. I'll see if I've got time to write a little bit now. The problem is I've kind of like dropped something in the book that I don't know how I feel about it. One of the characters is kind of made this revelation, and I'm like, is that good for the story? Again, it's another fork in the road. So I'm thinking, like, is this... Yeah, that's where I've reached, is the fork in the road. So I think I'm just going to think about that, not necessarily write. Maybe just open the laptop, look at it, and dwell on it. Yeah, so that's where I'm up to at the moment. But it's been great. I've loved this week. I've proper loved this week writing. I do every week, I feel like, but this one, like, I committed to other days and stuff. Monday, yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday I've wrote every day. I didn't do Muay Thai on Thursday because I got sick and stuff, so that kind of helped. You know, I was off work and all that, so maybe, like, although like my body was fucked and I couldn't like do me exercising and activities and all that, so I had to use the, you know, focus my energy elsewhere, which was the writing, which, you know, is kind of scary really, if I have to choose like my health or my writing kind of thing. Not obviously that extreme, but you get me. You know, there's you can't do everything in a day, but if I don't do everything, I can write, you know, a lot. So yeah, next week, there's no, yeah, tomorrow's bank holiday. I don't think I've got anything mad planned, so I think I could squeeze some writing in. Excuse me, but there's no it's not a definite. You know, Tuesday is a no go. I'm doing Muay Thai then, so oh, that's me. Muay Thai isn't a no go because it just knackers me. 2 hours of just fighting, so it's not like you're not in the right headspace to write. Wednesday, it's doable. Wednesday, I'll write on Wednesday. Thursday, I've got a funeral. So who knows what that's gonna do to me head. So Friday, I'll have to write Friday. And then one of the weekdays, Saturday or Sunday. So Wednesday, Friday is really the 2 days that I can commit next week, which isn't great if I want to hit my 200 target. And then obviously one day on the weekend. I think I can do Sunday because I don't have football, because Liverpool are playing at home and stuff, so I think I can do Sunday. So 3 days minimum. Hopefully Monday I can get in some time Monday to do some as well. So definitely Wednesday, Friday and Sunday. I'll do an update video maybe Wednesday. Yeah, not Thursday or Tuesday, I don't think. So yeah, hopefully you'll hear from me on Wednesday, and give you an update on whether I'm hitting me, you know, how I'm going along with me target of 200 pages by the end of August, which is going to be huge. So I'm just about to hit 10 minutes, so I'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching, and Yeah, see you next time.